Okay, we should be live streaming. All right, we'll give this just a second here to make sure it says we are live. And let's see. We'll give this just a second here so I can make sure I have any comments in here. Okay, now we're opening the YouTube window. Okay, hang tight with me just a second. This is my first live stream on this software, with this camera, with this microphone, with these lights. So just a few things we need to get a hold of. All right, I'm starting to see people popping in. Okay, let me check the iPad here and see if I can get you guys up and running. Oh, hey, Shirley. You're the first one to use the little pop-up. I see you. All right, so we had an ad play at the beginning of the video. All right, so that's good to know. Hi, hey, Paul from Seattle. All right, so what I don't see is the live stream happening on Facebook at the same time. So we'll have to check out what's happening with that. Jeff, do you see this playing on the Facebook page? Because I also set it to go live on the Facebook page. All right, so what we're going to do in just a couple minutes here, we're going to get rolling. And today is our first Facebook Friday. And I don't know yet if that's going to be a regular weekly thing. It's just kind of, I like the name of the Facebook Friday. So decided we're going to set up all the live stream equipment and give this a shot and see how well it works. And the concept is that you guys can communicate directly with us on here. So I've got to learn how to be able to see everything, which I have not quite figured out. So I can see your comments when they pop up. Okay, Jeff says it's not playing on Facebook. Oh, click to view. There we go. All right. So now I can see all of your comments. Rock and roll. Awesome. Okay, that's fantastic. Sound effects are working. Okay. So in a minute, I'm going to share my screen. And let me just see all right, we'll figure out the Facebook thing after the fact. At least we're on YouTube. That's a fantastic start. I probably just clicked a wrong button to actually get it to play. Lori Ballin at command, automatically cross promoting. All right. Okay, so if you have any questions, go ahead and type them in. I have Jeff on YouTube as a moderator. And so he can answer questions. He can comment on your comments. He can direct me. I also have my phone, so Jeff can text me if I don't see something, and then I can answer his questions if there are anything. And let's do this. If any of you guys can share the link or start a watch party to get it going in our Facebook group, that would be fantastic. Because for some reason, I thought it was going to be playing in here, and it's not actually playing. Okay. Well, if that's the only glitch, we're good to go. Okay. So let's go ahead, and what I'm going to do today is I'm going to open screen share, and I'm going to log into my KW command account. And what I want to talk about specifically today are Facebook ads. Here's my opinion on this. KW command is fantastic for using as a general database. I love how it handles contacts, tasks, smart plans, text messages, notes, all of those things. And what I would like to do is show you guys some lead generation strategies that will help you generate leads so that you can start using that database at a higher level. I was in there playing with it this morning, and there's some cool things that are working, but they have a little bit of growth still needing to be built around them. But for the most part, the general functionality of KW Command is working really well, and our smart plans are absolutely phenomenal. I love how those work. All right. So I'll also let you know that Jeff and Paul are my brothers. A lot of you guys know this, and some of you have already worked with them. They own a marketing company, and it's a KW Command friendly marketing company. So they can build your website, your smart plans, your landing pages, market your listings, run your Facebook ads, run your Google ads, help onboard your team, help onboard the market center, any of that. So nudge your team leader. They're available too if the market center needs help as well. And I've got a new training I'm bringing to market centers virtually, and I'll be doing a lot of this in market centers coming up here soon as well. So very, very exciting stuff. So if you have a question as we go through, type it in. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead to share my screen, and it should be this button here. And we want to share the KW command screen. Ah, that's beautiful. Working great, right? Jeff, you'll text me and let me know if there's any problems. Perfect. Okay, so we're inside KW command now. And let's go ahead over to our campaigns. So I'm going to click on campaigns. On the left-hand side, they've been changing our little applet icons as we go along. So if you hover over any of these, they will tell you what it is in case something has changed. All right. So the class that I'm going to bring into market centers is going to focus very specifically on marketing listings, because here's what I have found already with this. I have found that when you have a listing that you can promote through Facebook ads, Instagram ads on KW Command, you can get more leads for less money. We can build landing pages. We can build open house pages. We can run specific ads around coming soon, just listed, or just sold, market data, that kind of thing. But in my experience so far, I'm maneuvering around the cat, sorry. My experience so far has shown me that the best opportunities are when we actually have a listing. And honestly, when the listing is lower price, like at market value or a little below, is when I see the most. So take advantage of those. Which reminds me, one of my team members was supposed to send me a listing, and he hasn't yet to promote. And it's like $100,000 under the average price range in Vegas, so it's going to be absolutely incredible. As long as you want to get leads on those, right? Okay, so move over to the left a little bit, give room for the cat. He literally just comes and parks himself right on top of whatever I'm doing, so we'll work around him here. Okay. Okay, so let's take a look though. When I'm talking about promoting a listing, we're going to go through today, and we're going to run an ad for a listing because I want you to see start to finish what it looks like. But I also want you to know that there are a lot of opportunities as well, even if you do not have any listings. That's something that I'm surprised how many agents say, oh, I don't have any listings, I can't use command, and it's really not true at all. So for example, I ran one yesterday. Let's just take a look really quick at this one. I'm going to open by clicking right underneath on that Facebook. I can actually open the ad. Okay. So this ad says just reduced homes for sale in Summerlin South. all reduced. Price reductions are noted by the green arrow. Get the full list, prices, pics, and map. That's the ad that I ran doing a test on it. So I have a real estate team and I've not been out in the field for years. But now I've decided that I want to sell a handful of homes every year because it'll get me out. It'll give me a lot of purpose. It'll keep me speaking the language. And my daughter's a senior in high school and she's starting college, so it'll be some extra money to pay for her college since I didn't save for that as she was growing. All right, so Summerlin is the neighborhood I want to market. So I was able to use a neighborhood and run an ad, and it sends people to a page on my website. Okay. Now remember, if you have questions, type them in, and either Jeff or I will answer them for you. Okay. Move that over a little bit. All right. So that ad at this point has earned me, I've spent $15 on it so far, and it's a 10-day ad, and so far I'm paying $3.15 per lead. $3.15 per lead, and I've gotten 5 leads so far. Now, what I love about that is that even though it's higher per lead than what I get when I'm running a listing, these are people that I know that specifically clicked through out of curiosity about the neighborhood I work in. So to me, that's a great pool of leads to start building and working from. Now, once you get your leads to a large enough number, KW Command gives us the ability to target people in your database. So you could, let's just say I run ads for Summerlin all year long, and I wind up with 1,000 leads from people that have registered to look at Summerlin, which would be very easy to do. In my neighborhood with that budget, it would be easy to do. Then I could run an ad, target my database, and I would be able to target all of those people that were interested in Summerlin with another kind of Summerlin ad. That to me is where it gets really good, that kind of a combination. Okay. So 5 leads, I've gotten 33 clicks, averaging 48 cents a click. Now, if you look right underneath that one, here's an example of an actual listing that I took, my team, and it generated 43 leads at 70 cents a piece, only 16 cents a click. 43 leads at 70 cents. You guys, it doesn't get any better than that. Okay. That is like cheap, 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 cheap. Unbelievable. So when you have a listing, you've really got to take advantage of it. As soon as it goes on the market, you want to get in here. I'm going to show you how to do it in just a second. You want to get in here, run that Facebook ad as soon as you can, and put as much money on it as you can, keeping in mind your whole goal is to your whole goal is to sell that house, of course, and to generate buyers, to leverage the listing and to generate buyers. If you kept that cycle going up all year long and then worked your sphere of influence on past clients, that might be all you have to do. I mean, that is a really good cycle. Now, a lot of these leads that you're converting are going to be garbage. A lot of them, they're going to be invalid information. They're not going to qualify. They're going to say, we never registered. What are you talking about? They're going to be, people that you interrupted their news feeds. They just were curious. It was a real estate agent wanting to see what you're doing. A bunch of those. But if you close 1 out of 100, it's a gold mine. It's 1 out of 100. And that's the national average for web lead conversions, 0.5 to 1%. Okay, now he's sitting on the trackpad. I need a door to be able to go into to keep Kitty out. All right. So if you do the math and you understand how the math works up Facebook leads should be part of your strategy all day long. Super, super easy. Set up your smart plans with all of your automation, which we might get to today. And you're good. You just have to keep that cycle going and know how much money you're willing to spend on each one to get that number of leads. So I said 1 out of 100. Look at this. This listing generated 43 leads and I spent $30. So to get to 100, I might have needed to spend 60 bucks, 90 bucks, somewhere in that ballpark to get to one closing. Would you spend $90 to get to one closing? I bet you would. Right? We all spend 25% referral when somebody sends us a referral. So we'll spend $2,500 on a $10,000 commission. So why wouldn't we spend 100? But it's a mathematical game and it takes time. So you're not going to get one closing out of your first 100 leads. You have to build that database, start cultivating those leads, let the systems work for you. And after about 6-7 months, you really have a strong pipeline that starts turning for you. That's kind of just a quick synopsis of how the math adds up. All right. Hey, Jeff, say something for me just so that I know everybody's still there. Say something on the comments because I haven't seen anybody else comment now. Or Shirley or Jeff, somebody just say something. Oh, okay. Nope. Okay, I'm not seeing any updating comments, so I'm not sure if they're there or not there. I'll give that another minute and keep going. I know Jeff would text me if there was anything not happening. So if I can't see fresh comments, then I'm going to assume Jeff is just answering these for us. Hold on, I'm just clicking the button. Oh, there, Jeff said we're here. Okay, I can see him. All right. Sorry, just first time using the software. I love this software. It's amazing. So I just had to learn a little bit of things. Oh, hey, Sandy. Sandy Bradley's here from Maryland. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. Okay. All right, so now we're going to go through. Hey, let me ask you guys on the call. Have you guys run any Facebook ads yet? Have any of you run any Facebook ads yet? Put it in the comments if you have or haven't. And that also helps me know where everybody is at with their Facebook ads. If you're watching this on playback, you can do the same or ask a question and I can comment on the Facebook video as well, or on the YouTube video. All right, so I'm going to go ahead. Oh, there we go. J.S. Wilson Home Realty Group. Howdy, y'all from Texas. Welcome. I love the y'all. Every time I go visit Texas and teach, I come back saying y'all for like 2 weeks. Okay. All right, so Shirley's run a few Facebook ads. If anybody has anything that you want to share in the comments, like you knocked it out of the park with one or you did anything different, absolutely let us know. I've got quite a few clever ideas for you when it comes to these Facebook ads. Besides listings, here's one for home values. I've got some, I love the just reduced homes. I did one for homes around a school zone or school district. Quite a few by neighborhoods, and these are all great for those that don't actually have a listing. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and run an ad, and maybe you'll learn a few things. I'm going to hold my trackpad up here because Gideon is sitting on it. Cat Gideon. Okay, so we're going to go to up here to the right-hand side, and we're going to go to create. Oh, you know what? I'll use this one. We're going to go to create a new campaign, and then we're going to click social ad. Give your campaign a name, whatever your new listing is. And now these boxes here, disclaimer, I do not work for Keller Williams International Building, KW Command. I'm independent. I'm an agent with Keller Williams, but I'm independent. So I don't always know everything. I don't always know up to the minute what's coming or whatever. And I generally can't solve everybody's problems with Command. I pretty much teach you how to use it. You still got to go to KW Command support if you're having any challenges getting things to work. Okay. But I will tell you what I know, what I learn, and what my experience is. So in the box, these boxes, my understanding is they don't change the functionality of the ad itself, but they're used for tracking purposes as to um, for KW Command to see what things are doing. Don't know if that has changed, but that's the way I understood it when it first rolled out. So if anybody knows anything different, you're always welcome to comment in the YouTube video below. So I'm going to advertise a listing. I'm hoping David's is in here and we can use that one as an example. And then where do you want your campaign to run? Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. So if you have Facebook business page connected and you have your credit card on file and everything, you can run it on Facebook. If you have Twitter set up, you can run it on Twitter, and Instagram, you can run it on Instagram. Personally, I like to separate those. I'd rather run a Facebook ad and then go run a Twitter ad and then go run an Instagram ad. One, different image sizes, and I like to measure the results differently, although the reporting in here is good too. It does, no, he's following the trackpad over there. It does show how well each one of those channels did. So if you want to throw it all there, you can. So far, my experience is I pay a lot more money when I run them on Instagram than I do on Facebook. I don't know that I've compared Facebook versus Twitter, but when I run both Facebook and Instagram, my Instagram cost per lead are way higher. So if I've got the budget to, if I'm going to spend it all, I'm going to spend in one spot or two or three spots, and I know one spot will get me more leads with less spend, I'd rather put it all in that bucket. So for me personally, my test, Facebook's stronger, just for me and what I'm doing. So you can test that. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and choose Facebook, and then we're going to click Set Up Campaign. All right. So we're going to go to New Social Ad Campaign. Now, if you are going to run an ad and you do not have a listing, just close the box on this upper right hand side. This box will disappear and then you can manually enter everything else. So if you have a listing and you just want to upload your own pictures and all that, you can close out of here. You do not need to use this box. This is basically just accessing the KWLS system and saying, hey, here's listings. And you can use your pictures and your description from here if you have it. So let's go ahead and see if David's listing is in here. So what I'm going to do, and on my team, everybody puts their own listings and their own name. So this does not yet give us the ability to pull by team. So I've got to look by the person specifically. So I'm going to change this. Instead of show only my listings, I'm going to change that to all listings. There we go. And status, I always change that to all just in case. For some reason, every now and then I find a listing I can't find this under all status instead of active. And then instead of property address, I can drop down this little arrow and I can go listing agent. Now I'm going to search for David Lamer. There he is. Okay, so let me see if his new one, he said it was 290. List date. Is this in order by list date? I think it is. Nope, there's, I see it right down here. All right, so this one I have not run an ad on, so let's go look at that one. And I still don't think that's the one he's talking about, but we'll go ahead and do this one, because it says August 1st. All right, so we are going to select this listing by clicking select. So now it will automatically pull in a picture from the listing, and it'll also pull in all of this description info, but you can change anything. Now, what I tend to do is up here where it says Facebook preview web feed, I drop that down to mobile. Most of our people who are looking at Facebook ads are on mobile devices. So I want to make sure that ad is laid out, optimized for mobile versus desktop. So that I always scroll down and I start there. Okay. So next we have our image. We're going to, our listing that we chose. And now we have add text. So he has like new, bottom floor condo, 2 bedroom, full bath. Okay, now let's just say, um, you can see it cuts off after the word installed. See how it goes to dot, dot, dot? So really all of this is going to be not used. So you want to optimize that description because that's not all going to be in there. Okay. All right. So if you want to use emojis, you got a couple ways to do. Well, you have multiple ways to do this, but on a Mac, you're going to do Control Command Spacebar, and it will open a little box, and then you can drop in emojis. If you're on any device, what you can do is do the colon. So shift dot dot gives you the colon, and then it opens this little box here. But if you start typing in like what you want to use, like let's just say you want to put in a bath, start typing in the word bath and look at how all of your emojis change up here. Okay, so that's a quick, easy way to get to your emojis. Okay, so like new, bottom floor condo, and then maybe we'll space down, and we'll do a Control Command space bar, and then we'll do a bed, or you can do your colon and then find the bed. Is it a semicolon that has the dot dots? No, it's a colon that has the dot dots. I think I got that right. It's been a while since English class. Semicolon, yeah, that's right. Okay, and then you can keep watching your ad on the left-hand side as it's populating here. Okay, 2 bedroom, 2 bath condo, and then let's do, I think that said 2-car garage. Did it say 2-car garage? Hold on, let me undo and see. Yeah, 2-car garage. Yes, 2-car garage. All right, so now we'll do a little car. So I'll return, and then we'll do the colon, and then we'll do a car. Two-car garage. So see how that layout looks cleaner? That would grab my attention way more on a news feed than just a bunch of text. I don't think it'll give me a fourth line. Yeah, it won't give us a fourth. So we'll stop right there. Okay. Remember, we don't need to tell them everything about the property. We want them to click. That's the whole concept. Okay. So now headline goes right here. That's the headline. So I'm going to put, what's the price of that? Okay, next time I need to open the listing in a new tab because I don't have, oh, there it is, 173. Okay, so we're going to go headline 100 offered at only 173,000. And then watch your ad to see how that fits. That's beautiful. And then your next line needs to tell them what is going to happen when they click through. So they're going to see details, pics, features, and a map. So they know where it's at. Okay, see that? See details, pic, features, and map. Okay, next we're going to go down to configure media, and we're going to take a look at the pictures. So he must only have one image on this listing because normally I have a bunch more to choose from. Let me see. Oh, there they are. Okay, so click add more, and then you can see the rest of your pictures. And you can choose whichever one you think is the best. You can also go into designs and create an image that maybe has multiple pictures. I really like that one. I use the one, for the sake of time, I'm probably not going to go into it today. But if we go into designs, there is there's one that has 4 squares, and it's under open houses. So it has a big circle in the middle. and then it has the 4 squares on the 4 corners, and you could put 4 pictures there. I really like that, and it does really well on these Facebook ads. So you can choose one picture, or you can go do the multiple pictures that way. And what's really cool about KW Command now is that we can actually access designs right from the ad, from the campaigns section, create the image, and then it'll bring us back into Facebook ads, and we can just select that image. And you would do that right down here. Let's see. You would go to add more, and then click on add images, and then go to browse design library. That will take you into designs without you losing your spot in campaign. So what we'll do is on our future videos, as we play with Facebook ads on these live streams, we'll try a bunch of different ads, and sometimes we'll go into designs, we'll try this one, and we'll do this one, and then we'll kind of report back and say this one worked, this one didn't work. You know, that way we can all kind of practice together. And I'm sure too, what works in one market may not be the same necessarily in another market, but I would assume the concepts would be very similar. If people are interested in a just reduced neighborhood homes in Vegas, I would assume just reduced neighborhood or zip code or area homes in most places would have some sort of value, right? Okay. You can also add a video. So if you go out and take a walking tour of your listing, which I would love my team to start doing more of. We used to do that with all of them, but we've kind of gotten out of that rhythm. So I love it when you just take your phone and you walk through the house. You don't have to say anything. You could put music to it, just so people could see a virtual tour of actually what the house looks like, you know. If you have a photographer come out and actually record a virtual tour, that's fantastic too. But you can upload the video, and videos do really well on social media. So it's something I highly recommend doing. You could run one ad that has the photos or a photo, and then you could run another ad for the same listing that has the video and compare the two to see which performs best for you. What we're looking for is the most leads for the least amount of spend, right? Our lowest cost per lead. It's not about the cost per click. It's about the cost per lead when we're trying to generate leads off a specific ad. Okay. So now, well, I'm going to get rid of that first one by deleting it. And then we've got this second one here. Okay, you've got your DBA logo that is automatically added to your ad now, and they added that to keep us all compliant. You can move it to the left over here, and you can move it to the right. So wherever you want that little DBA logo to show up, you can see that it pops up there in the corner. If you need to add an ownership statement, you can do that here. Next, we have Facebook ad. We're going to go ahead and go to configure. Okay, so once you have your Facebook ads can only run if you have a business page. You cannot run Facebook ads from your personal profile. So as long as you have a business page connected, all you have to do is link your Facebook profile, and it will automatically pull up all of your Facebook business pages, and then you can choose where you want them to run. So you can see here I have a bunch of different Facebook business pages. So I picked the one that I want this to run on, and then it will run in conjunction with that page. Now, there is something new with Facebook that's really cool. And Facebook has something now called the Facebook Lead Center. I have another video on that. And now I get an email that tells me when I get leads from Facebook leads, but it's not super consistent. And I don't know why that is. The notifications aren't. But it's cool to actually see it come in and say you have leads. And then when you click through, it takes you into your Facebook business page lead center, and you can see all of your leads listed there. And it looks to me like they're trying to become a CRM. We'll talk about that in a future video. I'll kind of break it down and show you what it looks like. But it looks to me like they're going to give us retargeting opportunities as this list is building, which I think is pretty exciting. So you've got a couple of things happening with these Facebook ads. Up on the right-hand side here where this little bell is, that's your notifications that let you know you have a lead. you also will get Kelly notifications. But if I click on that little bell icon, I can see here, there's our compliance info. Underneath that, new lead, new lead, new lead, new lead. And then we can click through and view information on it. We'll do that after we finish running this ad. Okay. So we've connected our business page. And now this is big. Out of everything you do on your ad, this is the most important piece right here. The destination. Do you want to use a Facebook lead generation form, which they're now disclosing on our ads? It says form on the ad. Do you want to use Facebook lead generation form, or do you just want to send them to a page on your website? Okay. So this listing, for example, maybe you want to send them to the YouTube video. Maybe you want to send them to your listings to leads landing page about that property. Maybe you want to send them to your KW command site. Maybe you want to send them to whatever other tool you're using to promote your listings. Okay. This is where this is going to happen. But if you send them to the second dot straight to a landing page without using the form, it bypasses that magical lead generation form that happens right on Facebook. And instead it takes them to that exterior link. And if that page doesn't have great lead capture, then you will never get the lead. You bypass the form, you sent them to this other thing that doesn't have great lead capture. Now you lose the ability to capture the lead. So the reason why we're all getting these for so cheap is because we're using those forms, which generate a lot more leads than if you just send them to a landing page. Okay. Where I like to bypass the form and send them to a landing page is when you have something that already has built-in lead capture. So for example, home values. So I've got videos on my channel that teach you how to run a home valuation ad, how to embed a home value calculator on your KW command website. So those already have a form because the person has to put in their address, their email, and info to get the home valuation. So to make them fill out a form first and then also send them to a page that has a form would not make any sense. So it's one or the other is what you want to select here. And then after they fill out the form, you'll be able to redirect them somewhere, but you will already have all their info. Okay. So in this particular case, anytime I'm running a listing, I'm going to use the Facebook form, because then it doesn't matter where I send them after the fact, I've already got all their info. How that form works is Facebook pulls in their profile data. So their phone number, their email, and their name that are on their Facebook profile. So the chances are good that you're getting an accurate name. The chances are good that you're getting an inaccurate phone number and an email, because they could be really old. But lately, Facebook's doing a whole bunch of, hey, we need your phone number to verify, so I think that's getting more and more up to date. But the emails are probably still going to be, a lot of them be outdated. But the name's correct because it's pulling it right off of their profile. Okay. So even though it says to the people submitting this form, you're agreeing to submit this form, get information, people still say they never knew they filled it out. But to me, it looks obvious. I don't know. They have to click the button once their information's in there, or they have to edit it. And then they go to the next page. Okay, so you've got their info. Now you send them somewhere else. All right, so now we're going to use that lead form. And then what is your button call to action going to be? The button is right here on the bottom right. We don't have a lot of selections yet here. We have learn more, sign up, and apply now. So learn more is the only one that makes sense in this particular case. But if you were running a KW mortgage ad or something like that, or you're running a help wanted ad, then you might have the apply now button instead of the learn more. Now this one here is cool. Now it's saying after the lead form happens, where do you want to send them next? So now it doesn't matter. Wherever you want them to land next, you've already got their info. Okay. So if you want to, you can put in a link to that particular property. Okay. So I would go over here to my KW Command website, FallonGroupHomes.com. So this is the KW Command website. And Jeff and Paul at Ballon Brands have fancied it all up for us. Okay. So down here I have these featured listings, and let's just say David is in there, or I can type in the search. What was the name of that? It is, whoops, I'm hopping between screens. I don't know how quick that's moving for you guys. Let's see. 6705 Squaw Mountain Drive. So I'm going to copy that and I'm going to put that right into the search bar on my website. What I want to do is I want to pull up that listing on the KW Command website. Unfortunately, it takes a second. Homes don't automatically populate on here, which that's maybe there isn't one in this particular case, but sometimes that takes a minute. Another way to do it, there they go. For some reason, it didn't pull up the address, so hold on. Let's try that again. Squaw Mountain Drive. Maybe without the drive. Let's just try Squaw Mountain. Sometimes it takes me a minute to find it as I'm playing around here. All right, well, maybe I got something wrong on there. Let's just say we're going to go ahead and pick any listing on here. Once we find, I would find the actual listing because obviously I'm just typing something in wrong, but for the sake of time, I don't want to keep going back and looking at it. So let's just pick any one of these houses so you can see what the URL looks like once it comes up. The alternative to this step is actually building a landing page for the listing, which I also teach you how to do. So that is an option. But if you can find your listing on here, when you click on it, it'll open a unique URL, and that's up here. There's a unique URL right up there on top. That is the actual address to this, a web address to this listing. And I like these landing pages. I think they look good. So you've got your information about the home. And if this person has just registered for Facebook, they've just registered to see details about this property, you're going to want to make sure they can get to the details about this property, however you want to get it to them. So they can scroll images. And now I would not have a second forced lead capture of any kind because they've already registered, right? But if they wanted to inquire about more, they want to schedule a video tour, they want to apply for a mortgage, they want to ask us a question, then it would open a form and they could do that right here. Okay. So there's that option. And then the other option was to select a landing page, and you do that right here by clicking choose landing page. So as long as you have built a listing landing page, so for example, this one here on Dolphin Cove that we built, maybe this one's a demo. Let's see. Oh, there it goes. Okay, so this looks like a demo. So it would look something like that. You'd have your image up here. You'd have your property details. You've got your video and pictures. You could put market data in here. This is what's called a standalone landing page. So it's not actually part of your website, but it's a standalone landing page. And these are pretty cool and easy to build too. So if you want to make something more custom and more your own, you can do that there. So you would just choose it from the list and then you send them there instead of that external URL. But if I wanted to send them to that external URL, I just copy this address right up top and then I paste that right here. This is why I suggest that you do not mask your domain with GoDaddy. So if you go to GoDaddy and register a domain, lorieshomes.com, and I'm going to forward that to my KW Command website so that I'm only promoting a domain that I actually manage and own the rights to, then I can forward it. Don't click the option to mask the domain because then you can't see that URL that's up top. So we want to make sure that we can see the URL up top. Okay. Next, you have ad targeting. So if you toggle this on, you can use the custom settings. And then you can target my database, target a custom audience. And if you want to learn more about it, you can click here about database targeting. So targeting your database will allow you to pull from tags and neighborhoods, although it doesn't look like neighborhoods was working this morning. Tags are, but you have to have a large enough number of people to run that ad on Facebook. It'll run. I think I had like 23 people on a list this morning, and it says we can run this ad, but it's not likely your ad will show because of a minimum requirement, but it didn't state the minimum requirement. So I remember I was always trying to get my list at 1,000 when I was running straight through Facebook. So I don't know if that's still a number that proves true or not. That I'll have to look up after the fact. But it does let you create the list now, which is nice if you've got a large enough audience. Now here we have United States, and then you can find your location, and then you can go as low as 15 miles around the radius. It won't go any smaller than that. And then here we have add or change interest. So keep in mind when you're bidding on, when you're paying to run ads on Facebook, you're actually bidding on the audience. So you're paying per click based on the audience. So if you add interest, it changes how much you're paying per click. If you add a bunch of different interests, it changes how much you're paying per click. So my suggestion is to run your ads simple out of the gate first, and then start playing with the different interest categories and see if they generate stronger leads, if they change your cost per click, but you're going to have to play with that. Okay. But if you click on interest, what you can do is you can scroll down now, and basically this is anybody who's expressed interest by following or liking another page on Facebook that has to do with a specific category. Okay. So for example, there are some in here related to home. I'll scroll down and show you just a couple here. So, all right. So for example, somebody that was interested. So this one just says home. People who have expressed an interest or like pages related to home. Well, that doesn't really tell you if they're a buyer, a renter, a seller, or anything. They just like stuff about their home. So that's the average person, probably. Home appliances, home automation, home business. Now I like this one. If I'm running a home valuation ad, you might want to sell your house. People that have expressed interest in home businesses are likely to be the owners of their house. So that might be worth targeting for something like a home valuation. Home construction, people who have expressed an interest or like pages related to home construction. Could be somebody wanting to build a house, probably not a strong buyer or a seller at that point. Home equity, that's going to be somebody who owns their home, but they're probably not, they may want to sell, but they're probably looking more to get a home equity line of credit or a loan. Home improvement, very possibly the owners of a home. Home insurance could be homeowners. Home repair, homeowners. There's actually, look at this one, house hunting. So 22,809 people in Vegas that have expressed interest related to house hunting. Let me see what that does. So let's click that one. Is it 22,000 in Vegas or 22,000 total? It looks like Vegas. Okay, so now I'm targeting specifically people that have expressed interest in buying a house. So that looks great. All right, so then we go to save Facebook ad. And then I'm going to run it. I'll check with David and then I can stop it if this isn't one he wants me to run. So we'll go down to duration and budget. Okay, it should go without saying that the more money you spend, the more leads you'll probably get. If you have followed all these steps, you got the lead form. My suggestion is if your houses are moving quickly like ours are in Vegas, then spend your budget faster. Get your leads, because if your house goes into escrow or goes under contract, then you're not going to be able to generate those leads anymore. So you're going to want to put more on the front end of those. Now you can always pause an ad, you can always cancel an ad, and you'll get money credited. I've done it multiple times, and the credits work great. So that wouldn't concern me. So let's just say you make the decision that for every listing you get, you're going to spend $100. Just come up with a formula that might work for you. So you're going to spend $100. So what you would do is decide how long you want to run this ad. So I'm going to run it from the 5th to the 15th, and I'm going to do $100. So it tells me that's $10 a day for 10 days. Okay. If I want that to be a shorter window, then I would change this date and say run it from September 5th to September 11th. Now that it's going to go up to $16.67 per day that we're actually going to spend. Okay. And then once you do that, you're going to click Save Duration and Budget. And then we will go to Publish Campaign or Save Draft. So if you're not sure you want to push that button yet, you can save it as a draft. If you think it's good to go, you can click Publish Campaign. Now what happens is you get this little automated notification that shows up that says your campaign is scheduled to run for 6 days with a cost of $100. Please select your payment method. You'll already have a credit card on file, so it'll show you the last 4 digits. And then if you have a credit, it'll be right here. It'll say you have a credit of $13.41. It'll say you're automatically using that credit. Okay. I don't know how long it takes for the credit to show up. So just something to keep in mind that you will get it. I just don't know the actual time of when it does. Then you're going to click Create Campaign. Then once you have your campaigns running, I think I'm going to save it for another video because this video is already almost at an hour. I want to show you really quick how to pause those ads or how to duplicate them. But in our next video, we'll talk about launching the smart plans, the text messages, and all of those. I also have a ton of videos on the library for if you want to watch them now, you can go to browse the YouTube videos and find it there. And then we will also talk about, what did I say, smart plans, designs. We're going to go into designs. We'll do those very specifically so that we can save time for later. So all you do now is once you have your ad run, you're just going to go into campaigns and then click paid ads. And then you can see a quick synopsis of ads that are running. Then you have each of your listings here. If you go to the right, there's these little 3 dots. You can download the CSV file for that listing with the stats. You can duplicate that campaign, and that works really well for split testing. So let's just say I'm going to run a video and I'm going to run an image, but I want everything else to be identical. So I first run the listing ad with an image, and then I duplicate the campaign. Then I go edit the campaign, remove the photo, add the video, and then click publish. And then I can see how those two do side by side, basically. Here you can edit the campaign, you can stop the campaign, and you can refresh leads. Now, when the leads come in, you're going to get that little dot right there. I scroll down, I click right through to that lead. It doesn't tell you who it is. You got to click on it. And then it will open the lead. I want to show you what it looks like so that you can just recognize what a lead looks like. Okay, it's got their phone number. It's got their email. Right here, lead source, Facebook ad lead. So you know it was a Facebook ad. Who the owner is, and on my team, everything comes under me. And then you can, this goes into the lead pool if you have a team, and any team member can pick it up from the lead pool if you're using the lead pool. I can assign neighborhoods here and put them on a biweekly nurture or anything like that. I can make comments or notes, and from here, smart plans, I can add to a smart plan. Now, all of the smart plans that my team has built are available for purchase at Ballin Brand. So if you want to reach out to Jeff and Paul, they install them, set everything up for you, fix your signature and all that good stuff when they set up your smart plans. I've got a bunch in here. Typically, I put everybody on some kind of custom Facebook ad campaign that's related to smart plan that's related to the ad I ran. I put them on a monthly newsletter email. It's more of a market report than it is a newsletter. And then I also put them on a buyer drip email that has text and a campaign that has text and email. And then it spins off into the neighborhood nurture, and they get their neighborhood nurture every 2 weeks to 4 weeks. So that's just kind of a quick synopsis of what I do. But we'll break those down more in detail, including how to build those campaigns in the future. So, anybody have any questions before we let you go? I don't think I saw anything else there. So, this should be available for playback for everybody to watch back. Oh, I missed your text. Ah, they were telling me I was entering the wrong address on that listing. Yeah, I figured as much. I knew it was user error in that particular case. So, all right. So it was fantastic to talk to you guys all today. I hope that this is helpful. If you have any questions, comment below. Jeff and Paul at Ballon Brands are available if you need any help. And if you're interested in having me zoom in and teach in your market center, nudge your team leader, send me a message, and we will get around to that later. So anyway, thanks you guys so much for joining me. Thanks, Jeff, for your help, and I will talk to you guys all later.